And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/Takes by Fans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered in multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big ol' Friday. We gotta break down Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Suns end up winning by 10, but man, oh man, the Bucks, man, they made those adjustments, and Giannis was looking good. But, you know, who didn't show up, folks? The classics. The classics, you know, everybody's favorite Batman. No. Where was Chris Middleton last night, folks? Where was Batman last night? Can y'all tell me where Batman was last night? Jeez Louise, folks, I still can't get over that narrative, folks. I still can't get over that narrative that people are calling Chris Middleton Batman, but I'll try to save all my rage and anger of that until we get to that segment where we break down the game from last night, because it was a great game, folks. It was truly great. And the Bucks did some good things, and then they also did some bad things. So we're going to break it all down today. Game 2 of the NBA Finals from last night. Unfortunately, Bucks +5 didn't hit, and the value slipped to Bucks +4.5, and you know that one didn't hit either. Unfortunate. Even with the good value, we still didn't hit. How unfortunate. So we're going to be breaking down that game. We're going to be looking at the 2016 wildcard game, Packers-Giants. Y'all know what we doing, breaking down Aaron Rodgers. Is he good? Is he bad? Does he deserve credit for that big old win? Wildcard games, he usually kind of shows out. We'll see if he deserves credit for that. So we'll watch that game as well. And then no moneymaker for tonight. No moneymaker for tomorrow. I mean, folks, we got to go 3 days. The next NBA Finals game is Sunday. How unfortunate. Back to Milwaukee for Game 3, down 2-0. So... a little unfortunate, but we'll have a little extra time in the show. You know, we can break down Aaron Rodgers a little bit more and, you know, free up some space. So that's what we got today on the show. So let's jump right into it with the stories of the day. In the first one, folks, still talking about this Chiefs team. Once again, you know, we know they've went to back-to-back Super Bowls, 1 win, 1 loss. Now what do they do here? Tiebreaker year? Go there and see what you can do? Or can they even get back? We know dynasties are hard, and if you can kind of three-peat, that's real great. Three-peat getting back. So let's see what Patrick Mahomes is saying, because he says Chiefs are, quote, going to start from scratch and build and try to find a way to get back to that game. Alrighty, well, before we get into this quote here in the article, I do just kind of want to say that it is very hard to get back to the Super Bowl, folks. I mean, the fact that, you know, Patrick Mahomes was able to go to back-to-back Super Bowls already in his young career, folks. I mean, it's spectacular. It's magnificent. And this is really going to be kind of, you know, a huge argument when we're talking about greatest of all time come 10, 15 years down the road. And I think kind of, you know, Patrick Mahomes is kind of, you know, experiencing this, knows this, that hey, I really have to be great from here on out, because I'm going against Tom Brady that's been to 10, that's kind of been to, has he ever been to 3 straight Super Bowls, Tom Brady? He went to 3 in 4 years, and I think that was it. So Tom Brady's never been to 3 straight, if I'm looking at this right. And we're going to talk about this, but being, you know, he can't win the head-to-head matchup with Tom Brady. He's got the AFC Championship loss in 2018, and then he's got the Super Bowl loss in 2020 with a new team for Tom Brady. So that's definitely going to be a knock on Patrick Mahomes' kind of overall resume, because he's going to be compared his entire career to Tom Brady. There's nothing we can do about that, folks. We can only talk it through, talk about it, and kind of, you know, be unbiased as we can, because we've got no stake. We've got no stake in really anybody. I think we do a very good job of being unbiased on the show, but that's going to be a knock on Patrick Mahomes. Hey, well, you lost to Tom Brady kind of out of his prime. I mean, you lost to him twice in his 40s. I mean, geez, that's not great. So Patrick Mahomes, he's got to have something else. Go to 4 straight, win 3 straight, win 4 straight, something like that to boost his overall resume. But let's kind of go back to Super Bowl history over the last 20 years. We're only going to take it from 2000. I mean, do we need to go back to the 90s and 80s, folks? I mean, this is kind of how I judge sports. I always say competition and athletes are always getting better and better and better and better. So, the 80s we can kind of skip. I mean, yeah, there were some outliers that were really great, but overall, just kind of the overall competitiveness and, having kind of 4, 5, 6 superstars on a team, that's kind of a new age thing, and that's going to always evolve. So, this is going to, be the same when Takes by Fans is on in 2020 or 2040. When we're talking about, do we even need to talk about the 2010s anymore? The 2000s? Yeah, Tom Brady was great, and he was good for his era. But, geez, you see these new guys here, this new generation, what they're doing? They're passing, they're throwing for 6,000 yards and 50 touchdowns every single year because we're adding games and all that. But just the level of competition is always increasing. So, we'll see how we feel. Obviously, I wasn't, around in the 90s, around in the 80s to watch it live. I only can kind of watch and look and listen to what everybody else says. So maybe we'll have a different tone, but only time will tell on that. I don't think we will, but only time will tell on that. But here we go. Last Super Bowl, obviously, and what we're focusing on here is getting back to the Super Bowl. After you've been there once, it's real hard to get there again. Like we said, Tom Brady, whenever we discuss anything in the NFL, folks, you always have to keep in the back of your mind that Tom Brady is the ultimate outlier. He's the one that breaks all the rules. Once again, why we praise him as the greatest of all time. Every rule that we have, he just breaks. He does, folks. It's hard to get back to it's hard to go back-to-back champions, hard to go back-to-back to even get to the game. So here we go. Last season, 2020. Bucks, Chiefs, absolutely great. Or should we start? Let's start from 2000s because that's where we're going to kind of start this. So we had the Rams and the Titans at 2000. And then 2001, we had the Ravens and the Giants. Ray Lewis, unfortunately, not getting a ring there. Then, this is when the Tom Brady era starts, when the unwritten rule, or when the rules start to get written and he smashes the rule book, tears it up, and lights it on fire. So 2002. Patriots, Rams, Brady ends up winning the Super Bowl. No, he wins his first one 2002 against the Rams. 20-17, absolutely fantastic. So Tom Brady sets off on his jersey, and then it's Bucks, Raiders, and I believe this is John Gruden's first ring as a head coach. They win 48-21. Wow, how crazy that he beat the Raiders, his new team now. Who would have thought? Let me double check that this is who I'm thinking of here. Almost certain, 99% sure. Tampa Bay Bucks is John Gruden. Yeah, so then John Gruden wins the ring. And folks, I mean, he wasn't a head coach, obviously, for a long time, but now he's back in the league, and he can't even have, like, a winning season anymore. And this man was a Super Bowl winning head coach in the 2003, folks. So once again, taking the time off, obviously he was in ESPN, doing ESPN for Monday Night Football broadcasting. But once again, I mean, folks, it's hard to repeat. Even if you watch football, I mean, that's what his job was, folks, to know what football is, to know what is working in football. And he took that to the broadcasting at his own quarterback camp, and he still cannot put a great team together that is successful for an entire year, folks. It's hard. All right, then we go to 2004, and Tom Brady beats the Panthers. Bingo, bango. And then he goes back-to-back there, beating the Eagles. So Tom Brady goes back-to-back 3 in 4 years. But, when we're going through this, the Bucks haven't been back since. The Rams haven't been back since. The Raiders, the Panthers. Now we're talking about Patriots versus Eagles. Then we go to Steelers and Seahawks, and that was Big Ben's first ring in 2006. And then we get Colts and Bears. So once again, I mean, all these teams that we've been talking about so far, nobody's ever repeated in 7 years, folks, besides Tom Brady and the Patriots. Then we go to Colts and Bears, and Peyton Manning wins his ring. Who was the quarterback for the Bears? It wasn't Jay Cutler, correct? I believe this was the year before Jay Cutler got here. Yes, it was Rex Grossman, because I don't even want Jay Cutler anywhere near the Super Bowl, folks. He doesn't deserve anything. But then we get Colts, Bears, 2007. Colts win that. That's Peyton Manning. Then we get Giants and the Patriots, and hey, that's Eli Manning coming up in the clutch, but who's kind of, the common denominator here in the Super Bowl? The Patriots again in 2008. And then we get 2009, Steelers, Cardinals. Big Ben gets his second ring. And, that was kind of solid by, Big Ben as well. Super Bowl in 2006, and then Super Bowl in 2009. So only 3 seasons, 2 in 4 years. That's still real solid, folks, that 4-year stretch. You got to give Big Ben a little bit more credit for that. Then we get to 2010. We get Saints Colts there, and that's Drew Brees' one and only Super Bowl win in his great career, his only Super Bowl appearance in his great career. We had Peyton Manning trying to get his second in 2010. So once again, Peyton Manning could have been in that kind of elite company of going into multiple Super Bowls, and we'll say like a 4-year span. That's kind of fair to say. We'll take 4-year spans from now on. Tom Brady, 3 and 4 years. Ben Roethlisberger, 2 and 4 years, winning 2 and 4 years, getting to 2 and 4 years. Peyton Manning trying to win 2 and 4 years. So this is kind of like a 4-year stretch that, once again, we'll see what Patrick Mahomes does. We'll talk about that in a second as we get closer to 2000, 2018, 2019, all that. But let's take this 4-year stretch, and then we get 2011, Packers, Steelers, and Aaron Rodgers comes up with his one and only Super Bowl appearance, never getting back in the last 10 years, folks, 2011. But you give credit to Ben Roethlisberger trying to go back again. So really, Big Ben here, really, really great in the kind of 2000s era. Then we kind of turned to 2011, 2012, and then he's never been back since. Then we get 2012, Giants, Patriots, and Eli Manning wins it again. Tom Brady couldn't beat him. Then we get the Ravens and the 49ers. Once again, Ravens haven't been back since, and the 49ers, they got back but ended up losing a couple of years later. Then we get 2014 Seahawks, Broncos, and this is Russell Wilson's first ring. Fantastic. He tries to go back-to-back but can't get it. In 2015, Patriots get it in 2015. Patriots, Seahawks. Russell Wilson throwing the pick on the end zone. Unfortunate for him. But once again, even Russell Wilson. Folks, we talk about Patrick Mahomes like we talked about Russell Wilson. This man's going to be great. He's going to go to the Super Bowl every single year, but we haven't heard from him in the last 6 years getting to the big game. Once again, kind of 2 4-year stretches here. Russell Wilson, back-to-back, 1-1, hasn't been in there since. Then we get the Broncos and the Panthers. Peyton Manning goes out on top there, and, Carolina hasn't been back there since, hasn't even sniffed there since 2016, and Cam Newton hasn't even really returned to that level of play either. Then we get 2017, Patriots, Falcons, and once again, Falcons having trouble even trying to get back to that big game, trying to win their division. That's their biggest challenge now. Can they even win their own division? But Tom Brady's still kicking strong. Then we go to 2018 Eagles, Patriots. Once again, Tom Brady going back-to-back. And, unfortunate, he loses to Nick Foles. And once again, the Eagles struggling to get back. Nick Foles not even looking anywhere near what he was looking like in that playoff run. But then we get Tom Brady in 2019, Patriots, Rams. How great is that? Tom Brady going to 3 straight again. Going to 3 straight. He did get to 3 straight, folks. 2017, 2018, 2019. Fantastic. And he went 2 and 3, ended up beating the Rams. And then we get the Chiefs and the 49ers in 2020. And then this year in 2021, Bucks, Chiefs. So it's hard to get back, folks. Even if you're one of the greats, even if you have a great season, even if you're considered one of the greatest of all times in Aaron Rodgers, it's hard to go back-to-back or even try to get back. Tom Brady's the outlier here, and Patrick Mahomes, We talked about Russell Wilson potentially being the greatest of all time when he finally got into the league and got to his first Super Bowl. And now we're kind of talking that same way about Patrick Mahomes. A lot of pressure on him, and he knows he has to kind of, switch it up every single year. So let's go back to this article. Let's tie it all in now, and let's see what he's saying here. After he went back-to-back here, what he's trying to do year 3 to go back again and to win it this time. All right, so here we go. The toe injury that ruffled Patrick Mahomes' postseason run is well in the rear view as we await Kansas City Chiefs training camp later this month. After undergoing toe surgery, Mahomes participated in the Chiefs offseason program, indicating he was on track to be fully healthy come week 1. In June, the MVP signal caller noted that he still had rehab work to do, but could have played a game if necessary. This week at the American Century Celebrity Golf Championship Tournament in South Lake Tahoe, Nevada, Mahomes reiterated that he's fully healthy. Quote, "The toe is feeling great. I'm out here playing golf, being able to walk around the course. I've been running, cutting, jumping, throwing, doing it all. So I'm just excited to get back to training camp and have another chance to make a run at it and win the Super Bowl this year." The Chiefs made back-to-back Super Bowls, winning in 2020 and losing this February. Aside from doing rehab, Mahomes said this offseason isn't much different than how he's approached every year. All right, what is he saying? Quote, "It's different in the sense that you don't have the parades and all of that different type of stuff. But I think the beautiful thing about the NFL is every single year you start from scratch. You have to come in, you have to put in the work to try to get back to the big game and try to win it. And that's exactly it, folks. You have to start from scratch. It's not like, oh, well, you were great last year, so you're already guaranteed to be great this year and basically kind of leave off where you left last year. It's nothing like that in the NFL, folks. We just went through the last 20 years of the Super Bowl. How many of those teams were really going back to back to back like that? How many teams were having multiple Super Bowl appearances? We saw multiple teams with one, and that was it. And we saw, a select few of the greats as we kind of classify, potential GOAT candidates. But even then, they weren't winning them every single year. They were kind of taking, a couple years off, like we said, that 2 and a 4 year span. So it's starting from scratch again, learning everything again, trying to, be different, because that's the one thing in the NFL. Coaches and defensive coordinators, they had that entire offseason, and the offseason in the NFL is absolutely brutal, folks. We go from February to July. Big ol' offseason, folks, to just learn and sulk and see what they did, see what was killing you, see what you were doing good at and was working. So people have time to figure you out. That's kind of, what is hard during the regular season. We have a week to prepare, but there's just so much to do, folks. We're at week 11. We can't look all the way back to, film from week 1 and 2 and 3. We just kind of take the last 3-4 games, maybe max, because that's the only time we have time to look at. We have to go and dissect everything in that game and then try to make a game plan. So we practice it and try to see what they do great. So that's what's hard during the NFL regular season, is to just come up with that great game plan to stop your opposing team come this week. And then you do it all again next week and all again next week. And it just adds more tape and more tape and more tape. And you don't have time to sift through it and watch it and see what you are getting killed at and what your opposing team has done great for the entire year. But then comes the offseason, plenty of time. You're like, oh, that's what they were doing. That's so easy to stop. We couldn't stop it, but now we can if they try to do that again. So that's why teams have trouble going back to back like that, because they're like, well, let's implement what we did last year since it's worked, and they don't really change too much. I mean, folks, we were seeing teams not changing enough just during the regular season. The Seahawks floundering at the back half of the season offensively. The Cardinals floundering offensively back half of the season because they weren't changing it up. They were able to get figured out mid-season. All right, what else we get here by the quote? You have to come in, you have to put in the work to try to get to the big game and try to win it. And for us, win or lose, that Super Bowl that the last 2 years, we still have that same mentality and of we're going to start from scratch and build and try to find a way to get back to the game. And that's kind of why this Chiefs team is kind of so successful so far, Andy Reid knows this. He knows what it takes to get to the big game. He did it with the Eagles, and unfortunately McNabb couldn't pull through. And now that he has, this kind of great emerging young quarterback in Patrick Mahomes that once again understands all of this at a young age, has the talent at a young age, has just the finesse of football skills at a young age, and now him paired with the head coach, folks, we know that's what you need. You need the coach, you need the quarterback, and you need, a solid defense to just get it done. And the Chiefs have at least two of those three. At least the defense is solid, nothing great, nothing bad. It's a solid defense, and they're going to Super Bowls every single year. So it's business as usual for the Chiefs, but this is going to be a huge year for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. You went back-to-back, fantastic, but so did Russell Wilson. And he never went back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's missed his last 6 Super Bowls, never having as much success as he did during those first 2 seasons where he was going to back-to-back Super Bowls. Won one, lost one. Patrick Mahomes is following that same thing, so we have to see, is Patrick Mahomes going to kind of break this cycle? Is he going to be the new rule breaker, or is he just going to kind of fall in line like every other quarterback out here? Russell Wilson, kind of Big Ben, 2 in a 4-year span, 3 in a 5-year span actually. Peyton Manning-ish, 2 in a 4-year span, and then trying, to a new team years later, years down the road. So is he going to kind of be classified as Russell Wilson, or is he going to be classified as Tom Brady, the rule breaker? That's going to be something to determine, and that's going to be real interesting to keep our eye on if, it all comes crashing down. So we'll definitely keep an eye. Obviously, everybody's going to be keeping a close eye on the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's the biggest name in the game. And, we'll break it down as we see it this season. Gosh darn, I cannot wait, folks. Jeez, woof. Can't wait to see this man back in action. All right, let's move on here. Potentially talking about the Steelers going back to the Super Bowl. Potentially, maybe Big Ben gets into the action. Hey, Tom Brady, you've changed teams, and you keep going to the Super Bowl in your older age. Peyton Manning, you switched teams and went to a Super Bowl in your older age. Well, this is my last season too, kind of like Peyton Manning's. Hey, I'm trying to be in the mix as well. All this kind of big gap, and I get back to the big game and win it. Hey, why not? So here we go. Trey Turner said he's excited to join the Steelers. He's their new offensive lineman here. We're going to talk about their offensive line issues in a second, but let's get to this initial quote, then we'll go into the article. But Trey Turner excited to join the Steelers. Quote, "It's just one of those teams, one of those organizations that they always compete, always in the game in my style of football." So that's great. Something that we love hearing. The Steelers still having that kind of credit in the locker room, players still wanting to play for them. They still kind of know that electric noise around that Steelers kind of franchise, the terrible towels, the fantastic fan base, depending on which side of the fan base you're on. If you're in it, it's great. If you're outside of it, it's been called annoying. I will stay out of that, but it's been called that. So let's see what Trey Turner's saying here. But let's recap what's been going on about the Steelers' offensive line, because that's going to be another thing to kind of take a big focus on during this season. And once again, that may hinder Najee Harris' success. We're going to hope that the offensive line is good, but it's filled of new pieces. So Trey Turner, the offensive lineman that we're talking about here, he just signed a 1-year deal with the Steelers in late June because David DeCastro, he had to have ankle surgery, so they let him go. And now Turner joins a revamped offensive line that is projected to feature 4 new starters. Chukwuma Okafor and Zach Banner at the tackle positions, and Kevin Dodson at left guard, and J.C. Hassanor at center. So once again, they lost their center. They're bringing in 4 new offensive line here, so they're going to hope that's going to be great to protect Big Ben and then to have Najee Harris have great success. So this Steelers team could really all hinge on the offensive line. Big Ben was looking good, but, we know the running game is definitely going to help them out. They still got that good defense. They lost 1 or 2 good pieces, Bud Dupree, and I think they lost another great kind of, defensive back. But overall, still some great pieces out there. They still got Minkah Fitzpatrick, and they've still got, let's bring that up. Jeez. Because it's a good I mean, it was one of the best defenses last year, folks, but then just injuries just truly hindered this team. Truly unfortunate. In the back half of the season, everybody was getting injured. But they still got Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Terrell Edmonds, so Cameron Sutton, Joe Hayden. So they really just lost. They may have only just lost Bud Dupree, honestly. So still a real solid defense out here. And the offense, like we know, they got weapons on weapons on weapons on weapons. Smith-Schuster, Claypool, Deontay Johnson, James Washington. They're 4 deep, folks. And then you got Eric Ebron at the tight end position. All right, so let's see what Trey Turner, new offensive lineman here for the Steelers, is saying about this Steelers team. Can we buy this Steelers team? Let's see. A point of emphasis for the Pittsburgh Steelers this offseason was reimagining an offense that finished last in the NFL in rushing last season. Yes, folks. Yes, last in rushing because they only had James Conner. How unfortunate, man. Najee Harris is going to bring this team from last to first, folks. I can guarantee it. I will guarantee it, folks. That is a Takes by Fans guarantee. You can bet whatever you want. It's backed by the Takes by Fans guarantee. All right. Newly signed guard Trey Turner believes he's an ideal fit to bring back a traditional standard of Steelers football. Okay. That's a big tradition. Here we go. Quote, it's just one of those teams, one of those organizations that they always compete, always in the game, and play my style of football. They have a great quarterback at the head of the center, but they like to run the ball. That's something I'm excited about. Well, you gosh darn right should be excited. You got Najee Harris behind you. That's big time, folks. I cannot stress how great this man's going to be in the league, folks. If there is one person in this year's draft that I know will make an impact year one, rookie year, it's Najee Harris. I will go all in on this, folks. If I was playing fantasy football, he would be my first pick. Well, second, because I have to respect King Henry, so let's not get too wild. He'll be the second best running back, but that's no knock to him. It's Derek Mother-loving Henry. You got to respect it. So I'm taking Derrick Henry, and then I'm trading all my other draft picks to everybody else, and I'm taking Najee Harris. My fantasy team will only be Derrick Henry and Najee Harris. I do not care, folks. We will win games. We will put up the points with just those 2 players. All right, when asked by Ruiz what exactly that brand of football of his is, you can imagine the terrible towels twirling, quote, smash mouth, able to get out and pull, get in some space and run a little bit, just have a little bit of fun, man. It's fun when you're throwing the touchdowns, but I think it's fun when you're able to run them too, and that's why we're going to be absolutely big on this Steelers team, folks. They've got the great running game, and that's the only thing the Steelers team needs. Big Ben is good. We know that. He's great. The arm just needs to hold up, and how does it hold up? You run the ball more. You don't exercise the arm as much for the entire season. We saw the decline of the arm, folks, last year, and that's why they floundered. They went 11-0, folks. That's not for no reason. You give credit to that offense of Big Ben just slinging the ball around, and then the arm declined, and we could not rely any on James Conner to get it done. But I'm firmly believing that we can truly believe in Najee Harris running from week 1, running at week 17. It doesn't matter, running right into the playoffs and just having Ben Roethlisberger be the game manager. When was the last time Ben Roethlisberger could have been the game manager, folks? When Le'Veon Bell? But then you had Antonio Brown to deal with as well. He needed his touches. So there was never just truly a Le'Veon Bell, yeah, but you were still kind of throwing to him a little bit in the backfield. So, and we saw what they were able to do. They were always good in the regular season, a little kind of underwhelming in the playoff settings. Unfortunate. But if this Steelers team can fix this line, they all want the run game to be good. Najee Harris, baby, he's right back there to pound the ball and basically lead them to wins after win after win after win. All right, what else do we get here? Pittsburgh hired Matt Canada. Oh, yeah, and I forgot all about Matt Canada, folks. This team is all on the same page, folks. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago on the show. Matt Canada here, Mike Tomlin, the owner, they are all on the same page of running the ball and making sure that running offense is great, folks. So, yes, we're saying it. We want that to happen, and they want that to happen. They are going to make that happen, folks. So, it's not just like, hey, we think Najee Harris is going to be good and they need to run the ball. That's what's coming from inside the organization as well, folks. So they're going to get it done, folks. I can't wait. So Pittsburgh hired Matt Canada as its new offensive coordinator this offseason as well. The first-year offensive coordinator explained that he plans to lean on Ben Roethlisberger's strengths, which will include a run game that takes the pressure off the 39-year-old quarterback. The team also used a first-round pick to get running back Najee Harris, who showed the potential to be a great. You better hire some new writers here. This is underwhelming. A phenomenon. He's going to be a phenom, folks. So let's fix this sentence right here. The team also used a first-round pick to get running back Najee Harris, who showed the potential to be a phenom all-around back during his days at Alabama. Great. Y'all want to use the word gush and then use great when describing Najee Harris? I'm not going to allow that. Phenom. Absolutely great. All right. Turner, 28, is coming off a forgettable season with the Chargers as he played in just 9 games while dealing with a lingering groin injury. His lost year snapped a 5-year streak of making the Pro Bowl when he was with the Panthers, but Turner believes he has the tools to help bolster Pittsburgh's run game and put himself back into form. I mean, if you go to 5 straight Pro Bowls, folks, as an offensive lineman, that's pretty gosh darn good. A little bit of a down year, new system, new energy. With that Chargers team, they still had energy, but it's like it's rookie quarterback energy. It's like, yeah, we're going to be good, but we're not going to make the playoffs energy. The Steelers energy, he just told you, historic tradition, let's get it done, we're expected to win, they just made the playoffs last year, and now it's Super Bowl or bust in Big Ben's last year, so let's all go get it done. So last quote here, quote, I believe in my game. I think I'm a dominant run blocker, and that's so fantastic. Love it. I think I've shown that throughout the years. I'm just excited to come in and just be with the group of guys and learn, but also give out information if that makes sense. Just go out there and compete. I think competing is the biggest thing. When you go out there and you compete, good things happen, so I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about it too, folks. I cannot get any more excited on this Steelers team, folks. I still like the Colts overall better than this Steelers team, just because at some point in the playoffs you are going to have to rely on Big Ben to get it done, the quarterback to get it done, and it's a little unfortunate, but, Big Ben, how much is his arm going to decline? Another year older, probably decline comes a little bit faster. Once again, just Tom Brady blows out the rule book. He is kind of outrunning father time. We've never seen this. Big Ben's 39, Tom Brady's 43, 44, and he's still getting it done at the highest level. It's just like, I can't, folks. I can't get behind anybody that says Tom Brady's not the greatest of all time, folks. I can't. He is. He's been doing it for 20 years solid. 20 years solid, breaking all those written rules, folks. You got to give him way more credit than, he's been getting, honestly. He's been getting a lot of credit. So I'm going to give it to the Colts a little bit over Big Ben. Just need Carson Wentz to stay healthy, and I think he's going to. So I'm going to take Carson Wentz overall health a little bit over Big Ben's overall health. So that's where we're at with the Steelers, folks. Still big on them. They got the new linemen, four new linemen, and let's see if they can get it done. We're going to believe in offensive coordinator Matt Canada. Alrighty, talking about the running game here, another one of our favorite running backs here that, once again, we need healthy and we need to make an instant impact after he comes off all of his bad injuries the last couple of seasons, especially last season. But we're talking about Giants running back Saquan Barkley. But I don't like this because he remains vague on status as training camp creeps closer. So, we've been hearing from we've heard from OBJ, who's coming off of an ACL tear. We've seen him in the lab, him running. And, he says he's ready to go. We're hearing from Jarvis Landry. He's like, oh, my God, OBJ is so great. I mean, he's looking even better before the injury. He's definitely going to be ready. But when we talk about Saquon Barkley, it's all hush-hush. We get nothing, and that makes us a little concerned. We want him out here bragging. Hey, I'm great. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to go right now. I'd play a full season right now, 2 months early. Let's get it done. But every time we hear of Saquon Barkley, it's closed mouth. It's tight lip. It's mum, folks. We get nothing. And once again, we get nothing as well. So let's see if he drops any hints here. He remains vague, but let's see. Maybe we can go deep into what he says to try to pull out anything. So here we go. Barkley appeared on the Rich Eisen show on Thursday and expertly dodged multiple questions about when exactly he might be ready to play in 2021. And the reason why we want him back is because we want to see this Giants team be great. They have the weapons around Daniel Jones. We need Daniel Jones to take that year 3 leap, but we also need a decent running game behind Daniel Jones just to make it a little bit easier on him and just to, basically just make it a little bit easier on Daniel Jones. Not all the pressure's on him. You can rely on the running game a little bit more because last year they just had nothing great offensively running the ball. What do we got? Do I got it? I thought I had something up here. Alrighty, let's go to this. Let's see what they were doing running last year. Obviously, they did not have Saquon Barkley. He got injured week 1. Truly unfortunate. Last year they had Devontae Freeman. I am 99% sure, but let's get it up just to say we're saying the right things out here. But they had Wayne Gallman. Wayne Gallman, 682 yards, folks, rushing. That's nothing great. I believe they also had Devontae Freeman. I'm not tripping on that. Let's get up Devontae Freeman stats. Because I wanted to see him be good to try to kind of revitalize his career. Yeah, here we go. But he only played 4 games for 172 yards rushing. So, I mean, that was their backfield, folks. Wayne Gallman for 600 yards and Devontae Freeman for 100 yards. Is that going to get it done? No, not even close. So we need Saquon Barkley there. And, as we kind of tie this back to just kind of the quarterbacks taking that year 3 leap, I mean, once again, we have to give a lot more credit to Josh Allen. That's why we're so big on Josh Allen as well, because he was kind of doing it without a running game as well. I mean, he had Devin Singletary. This man is nothing special. This man's not even, he's maybe top 25. That's it. I mean, truly nothing great. Let's get his official yards up. And, if he doesn't have Saquon Barkley, if Daniel Jones doesn't have Saquon Barkley, it's just going to put more pressure on Daniel Jones. And we've seen Josh Allen take that leap without a great running game. So, once again, that's just going to put more pressure on Daniel Jones. Hey, Josh Allen took that year 3 leap with no great running back. Yeah, we would like Saquon Barkley out there to help you out a little bit, but we still need you to take that year 3 leap. So, there's still no excuses. So, just for Daniel Jones' sake, we need Saquon Barkley back. Devin Singletary last year, 687 yards rushing. Once again, it's just nothing. It's average-ish. It's nothing great. It's nothing that you can rely on. It's not Derrick Henry rushing for 2,000 yards, folks. Imagine doing less than 50% production than Derrick Henry did, folks. I mean, how embarrassing, no? You better get those running games up, baby. Jeez. So we need Saquon Barkley to be back, folks. That's truly what we're saying out here. So let's see. Let's go back to this article and see what we get. All right. The running back relied on the tried and true motto of, quote, I'm taking it day by day. And that's why we don't like it. You're still taking this injury recovery day by day? I mean, we got training camp in like 3 weeks, folks. 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks. However you want to slice it. End of July. We're at July 9th. And you're still taking it day by day? That's not giving us confidence. This is the only thing that we don't have confidence on. I have confidence in Daniel Jones. I have confidence in Mike Judge, the head coach. I have confidence in all their weapons all over the place. I have confidence, and I know not a lot of people agree with me on this, but I still have confidence in Jason Garrett as their offensive coordinator, and their defense just needs to be solid. And I can get behind a decently solid defense. They've got some nice playmakers out there. So, this is it. This is the only question mark. And it's a big question mark, folks. It's a big question mark. But We want him to just kind of, be saying, hey, I'm ready to rock now. And we're still not getting that. So maybe you have to take a slight step back on this Giants team. Slightly. We don't want to. But he's leaving us no choice. All right, what else do we get here? We get like one small quote. Is that it? All right, here we go. That's far from definitive, so Eisen dug deeper by asking Barkley if he might end up on the physically unable to perform list. Barkley bobbed and weaved, floating like a butterfly, but choosing to avoid stinging like a bee. Quote, I think I know better than that. I've been in the NFL for a little bit now. I think I've learned a thing or two. So, once again, I can't knock. I'm not knocking Saquon Barkley. I mean, this is what you do. I mean, keep your mouth shut in this league. Russell Wilson instantly regrets, having a little bit of a little frustration outburst, saying, oh, my God, the offensive line, I'm getting hit too much. That's all he basically said, and the media ran with that. Is he going to get traded? He's on the trading block. He's not going to play there anymore. He's definitely getting traded. Pete Carroll's lost the locker room. These were what everybody was saying, folks. So I understand Saquon Barkley. I understand this. This is what players should be doing. If I was in the NFL, I wouldn't be telling y'all nothing, honestly. I'm not gonna have my story be talked about on Takes by Fans. No, even if it's good, I don't care. So I don't blame Saquon Barkley. I champion Saquon Barkley for doing this, but me, a fan of the game, wanting to see Saquon Barkley back out there, wanting to see this Giants team be good because they've got pieces on pieces on pieces on pieces on pieces everywhere. This is no fun to talk about. Just trying to get better every day? I don't care. Yeah, everybody's trying to do that. Damn. So, and then just once again, folks, you don't need to make yourself the story. Nobody's even talking about Saquon Barkley in the media. So once again, if we just tie all that back to these big names in the NFL and NBA, I won't rename their names because we've been doing it all year, folks. We've been bashing them all year for this. But if you don't want to be in the media and you don't want to be talked about, you can do that. You can do that. Give up no information. You can do that. They don't choose to take that route, though. All right. What else do we get here? Anything else? Does not see it. Eisen, we get little quotes here, but probably nothing because obviously nothing earlier. But here we go. Eisen asked Barkley if he should feel confident about taking Barkley at the top of a fantasy draft, and their running back responded with an ambiguous confidence. Quote, if I was a betting man, I was told the best thing to do is bet on yourself. So why not? Okay. Not bad. But once again, no real nuggets there. Eisen pressed him further, telling Barkley he'd select him with the number 1 overall pick and, quote, enjoy it immensely. Barkley gave him what can be interpreted as a thumbs up. I believe so, Barkley said. I know so. So, Rich Eisen's taking him number 1 overall in his draft, and Barkley said, yeah, I'd bet on myself. So, we just want you back, Barkley. We just wanted to see you back out on the field. That's it. Sue us. Are you really that mad at us for just wanting to see your brilliance on the field? That's it, folks. That's all we're trying to see. The brilliance, the quads, the great running, helping out Daniel Jones a little bit. Daniel Jones helping him out a little bit. Getting back to the Super Bowl. Let's get it done. That's all we want, Saquon. That's all we want. So, truly remains vague, folks. Truly is vague out here. Unfortunate. All right, but we got running backs out here working out, and we always love a good running back working out here. We've seen Derrick Henry work out, and now we get Chris Carson, baby. Woo! Man, I'm always amazed by these athletes working out. It's always so great. I cannot do anything close to what they do. I strive for it, but I still can't do this in the gym, unfortunately. But the first one here, we get him doing pull-ups with the chain on him, and I love that, the chain. It's so boss, folks. Just working out. Oh, yeah, I don't need the free weights. Give me the fucking chain. Drop this big-ass chain on my neck, and I'll go to work. Fuck the free weight. Fuck a kettlebell. Kettlebell? Melt that shit down to a chain, and I'll wear it around me. Absolutely love it. Then we get him squatting. I mean, basically the full, you can't stack any more plates on this bar. Squatting. Yes, sir. Look at those quads coming out. We know quads are what running backs thrive upon. Saquon Barkley. Who was the other running back? Oh, that tried to challenge Saquon Barkley. He named his quads. I'm blanking on his name. Darn it. But everyone loves their quads out here at the running back position. And Chris Carson is out here. Oh, look at this. More chains. Is this 2 chains? I think he's got 2 chains around. Another chain. More chains, folks. Add more chains to your workout. I'm about to fucking go on Amazon and get some chains, folks. Shit. I'm about to be in Planet Fitness with chains on. I think they may classify that as a lunk, though. I think they will set off the lunk alarm for that. But, I mean, just absolutely working out here and killing it. Another quad here. Let's see the quads bursting. On the squat, folks. I mean, that's looking great already. Jeez. And then they burst out when he goes down. Yes, sir. Hold it. Come back up. Oof. Explosion coming up on the squat. So, Chris Carson out here working out. We are, decent fans of Chris Carson, folks. We think he is kind of top 10-ish. Can we put him in top 10? He's kind of on that border of top 12, wanting to crack the top 10, I would say. Big believers in him. Running back here for the Seahawks. We do believe he can get it done. Previous stats here. He's rushed for 1,000 yards, folks. 2018 rushed for 1,100 yards. Fantastic. 9 touchdowns as well. Absolutely great. 2019 rushed for 1,200 yards. 7 touchdowns. Unfortunately, only played 12 games last season. What was his injury last year? Let's get that up. Well, let's make sure it was an injury first. I'm almost certain it was. And let's see where they came. These injury games came. So he was inactive from week 8 to week 11. So he kind of missed a little bit of the season. So, the injury or whatever happened is nothing to kind of, take into the season since it happened midway in the season. And he was still coming back. 41 yards, 65 yards, 76 yards, 63 yards, 69 yards, 44 yards. So still, his same production before he got injured. Or what was it? Why was he inactive? He had an injury. Let's get that up. Let's see this quickly. Alrighty. He had a pedal foot sprain. Carson sustained a mild foot sprain during the Week 7 game against Arizona. He missed the next 4 games. So once again, I mean, just a little foot sprain, nothing bad, and then he returned to form after. So we don't have to worry about that. And, we can kind of expect his production to get right back up there. So we can expect this man to be right back out 1,000-yard pace, which is exactly what we're looking for. And once again, when you have DK Metcalf and you got Russell Wilson out there, you don't need to be the Derrick Henry. You don't need to rush for 2,000 yards. Obviously, it'd be great if you did. We're not going to stop you from rushing for 2,000 yards, but that's not what Chris Carson needs to do. So we can kind of get behind the 1,100 yards to 1,200 yards. That's fine with us. We've got no problem. As long as you're breaking 1,000 yards, we'll always get behind you, folks. That's really the lowest I can go. I'm not impressed by 600. I don't care what weapons you have around you. I don't care if you're the 9th option on your team. I still need 1,000 yards out of you. I don't care. So 1,000 yards every 2 seasons, 2018, 2019. Just unfortunately missed 4 games, and he was rushing for 56 yards a game. So if you add 4 more games, 300 more yards, he's at 900 yards-ish, 981. Give him a couple extra, he's at 1,000. We'll take that. So watch out for the Seahawks next season, folks. This season coming up, Chris Carson putting in the work. You absolutely love to see it, and we believe in him. Last year, they kind of had to go, when we kind of look at their depth chart here, they had Rashad Penny behind him. I mean, this is nothing great. He had 34 yards last season. We have DJ Dallas. He ended up getting a couple of touches, 108 yards. He's, all right as well, but Chris Carson's definitely going to be the A1 tier 1 running back here. Penny and Dallas, they can be good 2 and 3. I've got no problem with that, but Chris Carson is going to be the main workhorse back here, and he's out here in the gym getting even better, so you love to see it. All right, seeing the kind of little players getting the work done here before training camp starts. We're looking at Brandon Ayuk. I mean, we get a nice little 14-second clip here. Just 2 nice catches. This one going up one-handed, getting his 2 feet down. Great breakout here on the sideline. And then this one over the middle of the field, just reaching way. This isn't an accurate pass. He's not catching passes by new quarterback for the 49ers, Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo, but he just catches it right in stride, reaching right over his head, going over the middle, and he catches it absolutely fantastically. So Brandon Ayuk going into his 2nd year here. He was their main target, their main wide receiver for the 49ers last year. And, him going with the quarterback carousel, Jimmy Garoppolo still injured. And he still had great production. 748 yards for Brandon Ayuk his rookie year. So getting better year two, taking that year two leap, hopefully has kind of a steady quarterback to play with. Absolutely great. And we can kind of see him get even better. 748 yards with 5 touchdowns. Is he classified as running back or wide receiver one for this 49ers team? Let's get that up real quickly. Get up their depth chart. Here we go. He is, all right, he's listed as wide receiver number 2. They got Deebo Samuel as wide receiver number 1. Deebo Samuel only 391 yards last season, but I do not believe he played all games. He only played in 7 games last season. So yeah, I would put Brandon Ayuk as wide receiver 1. Shit, I mean, just because he's going into his second year? Screw Deebo Samuel. Okay, I'm going with Brandon Ayuk, the young fresh out here. So Brandon Ayuk's looking real great. Just needs somebody to be consistent at that quarterback position, folks. And as we're on the topic of wide receiver, I kind of want to go back to this. We talked about this earlier in the week on the show, folks. N'Keal Harry. We talked about, wide receiver for the Patriots. We talked about him requesting a trade. His agent requested a trade from the Patriots because he wasn't getting the great production that he wanted. The Patriots brought in a lot of talent, wide receiver-wise and tight end-wise. And now N'Keal Harry went from wide receiver 1 last season to basically wide receiver 4. So he wants to trade. Now, we talked about that, and then I've just been seeing a lot of people on Twitter saying that this man is absolutely trash and not good and cannot play, and it's laughable that he wants to trade because where's he going to go? So we want to investigate that a little bit. We didn't spend a lot of time looking at N'Keal Harry during the regular season last season just because it's N'Keal Harry and the Patriots were absolutely trash at throwing the ball, so we didn't really pay him that much attention. But we were able to get to N'Keal Harry every touch last year during the Patriots season. It's a 10-minute clip. We probably won't watch it all. We'll skip around. We'll go through it a little quickly here. But let's see. Can this man play? Can we buy him? Can we get behind N'Keal Harry based on what he did last year? Obviously nothing great. This Patriots team was still very not good. And, is this Cam Newton or is this just, not a good wide receiver? So let's see what we get here. Let's see, just talk it through every touch from last year. So let's roll the tape here. Just a little bit of a swing pass out here for the Dolphins. They get it to N'Keal Harry, and he just kind of got bitched a little bit. He's, decent blocking by the wide receivers. It's like a swing pass, decent like wide receiver screen. But he kind of just gets bitched a little bit here. He gets kind of pummeled. Knocked on his ass real pretty solidly. He does get about 5 yards on the play, but that was just all set up by the blocking. But he's got no real speed to hit that hole real quick, and then no real strength. I mean, like I said, he got knocked on his ass here by the Dolphins defender. Jeez, alright, so that's not great. Here we go, over the middle of the field. Can't break any tackles. He picks up the first, but okay, nothing great. Alright, what else do we get to here? Next play up. Here we go. Still week 1 against the Dolphins. Catches the ball on 2nd and 5. Powers it a little bit for an extra 1.5 yards to pick up the first. That's not bad. He was about a half a yard short, and he kind of stays on his feet to get the first. That's pretty solid. We'll give him that. All right, here we go. Over the middle of the field. Tackled immediately. No separation. That's something that we're seeing so far. It's really no great separation. Here we go. Okay, outrunning a little bit here, but got dragged down from behind, catches the ball at the 8-yard line, running down to the 1-yard line, but getting brought down. Here we go, week 2 against the Seahawks. This isn't a bad throw on 4th and 3 here. They go for it, and he's clutch. He's over the middle of the field, takes a big old hit. He draws a flag for the hit that he took, but I mean, that's a surefire catch right there, short hands. That's pretty solid. That's a big hit, jeez. That's definitely an illegal hit, absolutely. Jamal Adams coming in. With the helmet to helmet. Oof. And he still held on to the ball, folks. Jeez. He got lit up here. Whoo, jeez. I don't know how that man wasn't in concussion protocol after that. Jeez. All right, here we go. Another wide receiver screen. Picked up 3 yards, nothing great. Once again, he's got really no great speed here to like hit any holes or any great jukes to kind of, make somebody miss. I mean, if you're going to be catching wide receiver screens, you better hope you have speed or some jukes here, because there's always probably going to be one person coming free, and you need to get around him quickly, and then for the speed, as your other wide receivers are blocking, you need to kind of hit the speed to hit the hole before the kind of door closes, before the boulder comes and smashes you in the wall. Indiana Jones style. All right, what else do we get here? Next play up. Still week 2 against the Seahawks. Once again, just kind of a dump off to him. And once again, no speed to beat this defender right here. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gained a yard. Nothing great. Here we go. Another kind of dump off here on a wide receiver screen in the red zone. Wide receiver screen. He had the speed to pick up the first down. They marked him a yard short. I don't know. I don't like that spot. No touchdown, though. Another wide receiver screen here. The speed. Once again, the speed is nothing right here, folks. This is what we're talking about. Kind of the speed before the doors start to close on him. He's got a nice hole right here, but he tries to hit it, and just a defender comes off the block and trips him up by his ankles. No move, no speed, no nothing out here. All right, here we go. Next play, still week 2 against the Seahawks. A comeback route, tackled immediately. He did pick up the first down, though. Another throw right over the kind of the middle of the field. He was open decently. He just goes down to the ground right after catching it. He was going to get blasted anyway, so smart there. Now in the red zone against the Seahawks. Here we go. Goes up and catches the ball. Defender decently on him. Still able to kind of go up and get him. What is his catch percentage? Because these are all touches. They don't show the incompletions, unfortunately. We would have liked to see that a little bit as well. But let's see what N'Keal Harry, his catch percentage is. Is it very low? I forgot what we said the other day. It's 57%. So, yeah, we're just kind of truly seeing the good stuff here. And it's not great. What was his longest catch? 30 yards. Jeez. 309 yards total, folks. Not great. All right, let's keep going here. I want to see what this 30-yard touch is. This 30-yard completion is first. All right, here we go. Just a handoff in the backfield. And once again, no speed, no move, folks. No speed, no juke. This man is definitely not even close to a wide receiver 1. Not even really a wide receiver 2. Maybe a wide receiver 3, but even then it's still questionable. Right here out to the flats. Nothing great. Comeback route. He stays on his feet for a little bit here. Picks up an extra 10 yards. Bouncing around a little bit. I want to see the 30-yard gainer. Where is the 30-yard gainer? Here we go against the Chiefs, week 4. Dumped off in the middle of the field. Stays on his feet for about 5 extra yards. Here we go in the middle of the field. Brought down immediately. Back of the end zone. Ooh, okay. This was a pretty good one right here. From the 4-yard line, a back shoulder fade, one-on-one matchup, or just kind of a fade thrown up, and he goes up and finds the ball. This isn't bad. Readjusts here. This isn't Cam Newton in the game, but you take the one-on-one matchup and you throw it up, and he goes up and gets it. That's not bad. Y'all know how I love the one-on-one matchups in the end zone. I take that every time. That's the only play I would run in the end zone. In the red zone is one-on-one fades. That's it. I'm trusting my guys. All right, comeback right on 2nd and 6. Tackled immediately. Here we go against the Texans. Nothing great. I'm trying to get to this 30-yard bomb. I want to see the 30-yard, how he got 30 yards. Because I don't think it was by speed. It must have been just trash defense. All right, here we go. Oh, is this it? Oh, no. That was like 15. Not even 10. There's one real low to the ground. This isn't his fault, though. This is just Cam Newton or whoever's throwing this ball for the Patriots. I think it is Cam Newton, just real low to the ground. Cam Newton over the middle of the field. Once again, just no moves, and he's always tackled right as soon as he catches the ball. It's truly nothing great speed-wise. No real kind of breaking your ankles routes, real just kind of simple stuff. Like we said, wide receiver 3, maybe. Here we go, though. I mean, rifle it right here. I mean, just in the end zone, 5 yards. Cam Newton rifles it in, and he goes up and catches it. Little high coming out real quick. Goes up and gets it. We respect it. Where's the 30-yard play? That's what we're looking for. We'll end it here. We're already 9 minutes in. Jeez. Here we go. Cam Newton. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is 30 yards. This is 30 yards. Here we go. All right, so Cam Newton throws this one. It's very well covered, but he goes up and kind of catches the ball over the defender. Decently underthrown by Cam Newton, and he's still able to go up and get the ball. It's not bad. He's got some decent kind of catches. No great speed, and I'm all about the speed. I want to see the speed. All right, we'll leave it last here. Last play here. We'll leave it here. Against the Dolphins. Over the middle of the field, then brought down immediately. Like, no good beef, no trucking defenders, no great speed, now outrunning the defenders, not doing anything on wide receiver screens, and kind of we've been saying that, the wide receiver screen is going to become more prevalent. It already kind of is, but that's going to be the new style of football, just getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands very quickly. So if you're not catching wide receiver screens or able to do anything with wide receiver screens out here, I mean, you're a little useless in this league. So N'Keal Harry, we wish you the best, but I don't think I'd pick him up. I don't think I'd pick him up on my team, honestly. Nothing great. So what is his height? He is 6'4". That's the best thing he's got going for him is his height, but no great speed at all. Decent hands, but like we said, it's only 57% catch percentage. Now you have to factor that into Cam Newton throwing in the ball as well, so we give him a little bit of a pass, but still got to get the production no matter the circumstances. So I guess I would agree with that kind of narrative going around that N'Keal Harry is trash. Trash. Not truly trash, but wide receiver tier, nothing great. All right, and the last story to go over, here we go. The NFL tweets out another choose your all-star offense. We've done the AFC East, we've done the AFC North, and now yesterday they tweeted out. They tweet this out late at night. They tweet this out at 8 o'clock at night, so we're always kind of decently one behind a little, if you want to go like that, I guess. But this one's a tough one, folks. They gave us a real tough one today, folks. We're talking about the NFC West. Hands down, the best division by a mile in the NFL, folks. All four teams are absolutely great. So, let's see what we are going to choose here. Oh, they switched this up. Wow. Okay, well, first of all, they disrespected the tight end. So how it usually goes is one quarterback, one running back, one wide receiver, one tight end. This time they switched it up. It's one quarterback, one running back, and two pass catchers. And, they do have a tight end on here. Okay. And it's the respectful one. So this one just makes it a little bit easier, folks. Or a little bit harder. So let's start with the quarterbacks. We got the Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks, 49ers. So we need one quarterback. Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson, or Jimmy Garoppolo. Real tough here. I love Matt Stafford, folks. Don't get us wrong. But when I'm choosing my all-star offense, I still need provenness. I need proven wins, folks. And I'm going to take Russell Wilson. Great player. He's got great escapability. He's great on the run. Same thing with Kyler Murray. I mean, Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson are truly almost very similar in how they play, honestly. But I'm gonna go with Russell Wilson just because of that proven element. He's won a Super Bowl, has been to 2, and I'm gonna go with Russell Wilson. Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray would be a close 2. Jimmy Garoppolo would be the worst. Jimmy Garoppolo would be quarterback 4. I choose here. Matthew Stafford or Kyler Murray, it'd be tough. It is truly tough on who I would take as kind of 2. I think I give it over Kyler Murray a little bit. I think I go Russell Wilson 1, Kyler Murray 2, Matthew Stafford 3, Jimmy Garoppolo 4. But we take Russell Wilson. Now we go running back. We got Chase Edmonds, Cam Akers, Chris Carson. We just talked about him, baby. Or Raheem Mostert. Once again, real great running backs even in this division as well. We got great coaches, great quarterbacks, great running backs, and great wide receivers. This is why this division is just so great, folks. Jeez, man. All right, we do like Chris Carson. We are big fans of him. Cam Akers is big speedy. Did he break 1,000 yards last season? I think he did. Very close, if not. Maybe 900 if he didn't hit the 1,000-yard mark. Cam Akers. Oh, only 625 yards. Okay, I thought we were talking a little bit better than that. All right, we got Chase Edmonds. Meh. And then we got Raheem Mostert. This is a real great running back as well. What did Raheem Mostert have for stats? If he had 1,000, I'll take it. I don't think he did. I think he maybe had 800. Here we go. Raheem Mostert, 500. What am I getting these numbers from? 2019, he had 700. Jeez Louise. So I'm going to take Chris Carson then. Screw it. I mean, he's been proven the 1,000-yard back. We just saw him working out. Absolutely loved it. And, he got injured, got injured with that foot injury for 4 weeks, and he would have been on pace for another 1,000 yards. So we're taking Russell Wilson. We're taking Chris Carson. Now we get 2 pass catchers, and let's name the field here. We got DeAndre Hopkins and A.J. Green out of the Cardinals. We got Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods out of the Rams. We got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett out of the Seahawks, and we got George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk out of the 49ers. Well, I got to take my man DK Metcalf, big, strong, physical runner, and he's speedy as heck. Chasing down Budda Baker, we all know. So I'm taking DK Metcalf, definitely number 1 there. And then I'm going to take DeAndre Hopkins, number 2. Once again, I can trust all these players deep down the field. Go up and win that one-on-one matchup. We had DeAndre Hopkins completing the Hail Mary. Yeah, it was an all right pass, but it's a Hail Mary. You just got to get it there. And then it's DeAndre Hopkins around 3 Bills defenders going up and getting the ball. I'm taking that, and he's only 6'1". So I'm taking, how tall is DK? Is he 6'4"? Almost certain he's 6'4", folks. 6'4", yeah, I'm taking 6'4" greatness, and I'm taking 6'1" that plays like 6'4". So, no disrespect to George Kittle. If there was a tight end, if we had to specifically choose a tight end, obviously we're taking George Kittle. He's the best tight end in the division. But I'm taking DK Metcalf. I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins. No disrespect to A.J. Green. He's great. No disrespect to Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, but I'm taking DK Metcalf and DeAndre Hopkins. Tyler Lockett's a close third, possibly. Brandon Ayuk is great. We just raved about him. I mean, we talked about him. We just saw him working out, and he's great. But DK Metcalf is another animal, folks. Truly another animal out there. And same thing with DeAndre Hopkins. So our all-star offense of the NFC West is Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, DK Metcalf, and DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, we chose three Seahawks players, folks. 3 out of the 4 possible. So Seahawks, are they the best team in that division by default? I don't know, man. That's tough. It's tough. The Rams, we had them going to the Super Bowl. That defense is real solid. All right, folks. So those are all the stories that we needed to go over for today. So let's head over to the NBA and break down Game 2 of the Finals, and then we will head over to the Wild Card 2016 game, Packers-Giants. Alrighty, so Game 2 of the NBA Finals last night. Absolutely great, folks. Absolutely great game. Close game, but, the Suns do what the Suns do, and the Bucks do what the Bucks do. The Bucks, are playing catch-up all game, and they, close out the lead, making it, a 5-4-point game, and then the Suns go on the run. There was kind of like 3 instances of the Suns going on an 8-0 run in less than 2 minutes that really just kind of rubber band the lead. So you give credit to the Suns team. They are consistent. They are consistent throughout this entire game. All 42 minutes. 48 minutes. Is my math right there? 48 minutes. So you give a ton of credit to the Suns team for just getting it done consistently throughout the game. So let's start talking about some stats here. Let's start here with the Suns since they ended up winning the game. Chris Paul was still doing pretty decent. Now, the Bucks did make the adjustment. They were still able to kind of close down Chris Paul a little bit. They were kind of collapsing everything inside. They weren't they weren't switching on everything, so he wasn't able to kind of pick. The Bucks were fighting over the screen, so that's absolutely fantastic. So we give credit to Mike Budenholzer for switching up his game plan. That's what we needed to see. What we needed to see last night, our 3 things that we talked about yesterday on the show, was we needed Mike Budenholzer to come up with a little bit of a better game plan. We needed Giannis to be a little bit more aggressive, and we needed Drew Holiday to step it up. Now, 2 of those 3 things happened, and they lose the game because Drew Holiday did not step up. So we got the switch on Mike Budenholzer, and we got Giannis going dominant all game. We'll get to that in a second, but let's keep it here with the Suns. Chris Paul, 23 points and 8 assists. It was still a solid game by Chris Paul. He was hitting some big shots down the stretch in the fourth quarter, truly closing it out. Him and Devin Booker. Once again, kind of the Bucks shrunk the lead a little bit, but Chris Paul and Devin Booker were hitting some clutch shots. Devin Booker, some nice threes at the end of the game, and Chris Paul, his classic kind of mid-range jumper, closing out the game. So Chris Paul, 23 points, 8 assists. He shot 50% on 20 shots and 3 of 5 from the 3. So another great game by Chris Paul last night. Devin Booker, great night, led the team in scoring, loved seeing it. Devin Booker, 31 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. He shot great, 7 of 12 from the 3, and 48% on 25 shots. Absolutely great by Devin Booker last night, truly being the number one scorer. And Chris Paul just kind of, he can be the number one scorer when he needs to be. He can kind of fall into his kind of number 3 scorer. He was the number 3 scorer overall for the Suns last night, and he fits into every role, folks. He's absolutely great. Then we go to DeAndre Ayton. 10 points, 11 rebounds. Wasn't as dominant as he was in game number 1. Kind of Giannis, once again, being a little bit more aggressive, taking it to DeAndre Ayton a little bit more often than he did in game number 1. And DeAndre Ayton kind of struggled a little bit. He was still a plus 10 on the floor, but he shot 40% on 10 shots. Not the greatest. Then we got Jay Crowder. What do we want from Jay Crowder? We wanted him to hit threes, and that's exactly what he did. So once again, when you got Mikal Bridges firing on all cylinders, Devin Booker still firing on all cylinders, Chris Paul still firing on all cylinders, and then you add Jay Crowder to that mix, it's almost impossible, folks. That's what the Bucks are just not. They're just not as deep. Their core 5 is not as deep, and their bench is nowhere near this Suns bench either. So it's just unfortunate. You have to rely so much on Giannis, and the Bucks outside shooting is just so abysmal still, folks. It truly is. So Jay Crowder hitting it right from the start, right from the get-go in this game. 11 points, 10 rebounds, and he shot 3 of 5 from the 3 and 4 of 8 from the field. But that's what we're talking about, folks. He was 0 of 8, folks, in game 1. Back up to it, 11 points. We absolutely loved it. All right, then we got Mikal Bridges, who once again, folks, absolutely great. 27 points, second leading scorer for the Sun squad. 3 of 9 from the 3, and he shot 53% from the field, folks. So everybody was firing on all cylinders here for this Suns team, and it's just, you can't say the same thing about the Bucks, man. The Batman, the Chris Middleton of Batman, where is he? Kendrick Perkins, who initiated this dumb narrative. What? Where is he? I can't believe that man said he was Batman after it was a decent performance, folks. When did it come? Like game 3 or game 4 of the Hawks series? This dumb narrative. I'll call it a dumb narrative. I don't like to call any narrative dumb or kind of say your opinion is wrong, your sports take is wrong, but that was just dumb. It was just plain dumb to say that. And everybody loved it, though. Everybody ran with that. Okay. Y'all do that. We don't do that around here. All right, so the starting lineup of the Suns was absolutely fantastic. Off the bench, Cameron Payne only played 9 minutes, and I know his stats, you don't see him in the stats, honestly, when he comes off the bench, but his hustle, he had a couple of takeaways. He had 2 steals. He only had 1 steal. He just, when I watch the game, I don't look at the stats when I watch the game. I watch the game, I digest the game, and then I look at the stats in the morning. But it's just Cameron Payne, man. He seems so more productive on screen in the game live. And then I check his stats the next morning, and it's like, what? Man, this is it? So he only played 9 minutes last night. We do want to see him get more minutes, but okay, they're still winning. I get it. Cameron Payne, 2 points on 3 shots, and he had 3 rebounds and 2 assists and 1 steal, but that's only in 9 minutes, folks. That's pretty still solid. So I'm still getting behind Cameron Payne. I still want to see him get more minutes out here. He's a great hustler on the floor. He gets it done. He makes the most of all the minutes that he has out there, and he doesn't kind of look to score first. He looks to make the best play offensively and defensively, folks. So I give Cameron Payne a lot of credit, even though he only played 9 light minutes. Now we talk about Cameron Johnson, who came off the bench for 18 minutes, put up 8 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds on 4 shots. He shot 2 of 4 from the 3, so that's great as well. He had some nice clutch threes as well in the first half of this game. So once again, just Cameron Johnson, this bench, Cameron Johnson, Cameron Payne, real solid, not kind of overdoing it. They don't make themselves the main focal point when they come off the bench. They still are like, hey, I'm still kind of like the 5th option out here, even though I'm coming off the bench. So I'm looking for the best move. I'm looking for the best role. I'm locking it up on defense, and I'm going to let y'all do it because Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges are just hot as heck so far, games 1 and 2 of this NBA Finals. Torrey Craig playing 7 minutes. 6 points on 3 shots. He shot 2 of 3 from the 3, so that's great. And then Frank Kaminsky, not even playing a minute. How unfortunate. We would have liked to see him get a little bit more play time. DeAndre Ayton playing 42 minutes out there. Fantastic by him. As we saw, Dario Saric tore his ACL, so they're kind of, leaving DeAndre Ayton out there a lot and not using Frank Kaminsky. Truly unfortunate. Using little Torrey Craig out there. We respect it. I'm a big Torrey Craig fan. Torrey Craig. So overall, the Suns are, folks, you can't beat a team that's just shooting so great. What did they shoot as a team? They only shot 48%, but they shot 50% from 3, folks. Holy moly. They took 43s and shot 50% from 3. That's the game, folks. That's the game. The Bucks do not have anything to keep up with that. 20 of 40 from the 3. That is the game, folks. That is the game. So let's talk about this Bucks team now. Well, Mike Budenholzer made the adjustment. We respect him for that. Giannis was way more aggressive, 42 points, 12 rebounds. And once again, Giannis is the only member of the Bucks in plus territory when he's on the floor, folks. And he played 40 minutes. You better leave him in all 48 minutes next time. You have to. You have no choice. So Giannis was way more aggressive. We loved it. 42 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists. He shot 11 of 18 from the free throw line. Not terrible. Not really that terrible, honestly. For taking 18 shots, 61%. We obviously would love to see it way up. Obviously, we want you at 100%, but, Giannis just being more aggressive, taking 22 shots, getting fouled 18 times, driving down the paint every single game. I give so much credit to Giannis, folks. This is him. He's like, hey, I am a superstar. I am an all-star in this league, and, hey, this is what I have to do. I got to get it done in the finals. I am the best player on this team, hands down, no debate. I am the Batman. Kendrick Perkins, what the hell are you talking about? Giannis is clear-cut the Batman on this team. I don't want to hear anything else. So he goes out there and gets it done, folks. He's driving. He's getting it done. He took 5 threes. He hit 1. We don't like that too much, but, when nobody else is hitting that great, sure, why not? Let it fly. So Giannis, an absolutely great night. What do we got? Chris Middleton, the Batman, the supposed Batman. Folks, y'all calling 11 points on 31% shooting Batman? A minus 15 on the floor, the worst on the team? Okay, I'll take Giannis. I'll take the Robin, I guess, in that scenario. I will take the Robin. You can keep your Batman of Chris Middleton. Nonsense, folks. It's truly nonsense. Oh, man, these people are on TV getting paid for this, folks. Oh, jeez. All right. So Chris Middleton had an abysmal game. He played 41 minutes. 11 points. He had 8 assists and 6 rebounds. 1 of 6 from the 3. Can the Bucks hit the 3? That's the thing that we're hearing all in the regular season. They were the best 3-pointing shooting team. This Bucks team is different from 2019 in the bubble because they're shooting the 3 so great. Well, they're not doing it when it matters, so does it matter? No, it doesn't. Chris Middleton, 1 of 6 from 3, 31% on 16 shots. Absolutely abysmal. Then we get Drew Holiday. Once again, we needed him to step it up big time, and he was a minus 3 on the floor, so not bad overall, but his shooting very inefficient, folks. He had 17 points and 7 rebounds, 17 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, but once again, he shot 33% on 21 shots. 1 of 3 from the 3. Not great. His defense was all right, but overall, we need you to score points. We need that outside shooting to be clutch and reliable, and it's nowhere near that, folks. We get Brook Lopez, 8 points, 9 rebounds. He was only a minus 1 on the floor, so once again, not terrible overall. He shot 40%, but once again, only playing 27 minutes out there. They definitely don't keep Brook Lopez out there too often. And then PJ Tucker. I think you got to move PJ Tucker out of the starting lineup, folks. I think you do. I think you got to put Pat Connaughton in the starting lineup, and we're going to talk about him in a second, but let's finish here on PJ Tucker. 7 points on only 5 shots. We know he doesn't score that much. Minus 5 on the floor, 5 rebounds, but we just need some lethal threat from 3. That's it. And Pat Connaughton's their best 3-point shooter, honestly. Last night off the bench, he played 33 minutes. Once again, not great. He was a minus 14 on the floor. Absolutely not great. But 14 points, if you're giving me points, I think I just got to live and die by it, unfortunately. He shot 4 of 9 from 3, the best by far, by a mile on this Bucks team. Now, he was taking a lot of shots at the end of the game. I don't know if I want the ball in his hands, but once again, you needed threes, and he's the only one that's decently decent, not reliable, but decently decent at shooting the three. So, all right, let him take the shots, I guess. We'll live and die by Pat Connaughton just because it's unfortunately we have to. We got like 2 minutes left. We're downtown. We have to take some threes here. We have to take threes and get some stops. We can't just keep going for twos. Bryn Forbes is letting us down. You know, we thought he could potentially be their best three-point shooter, but once again, only 1 of 3 from last night. Jeff Teague off the bench, 4 points on 4 shots. Bobby Portis, 2 points on 2 shots in 4 minutes. But it's just Pat Connaughton truly just 5 of 10 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, 7 rebounds, 14 points. It's not bad. We just need something more efficient, and I would like to see Pat Connaughton in the starting lineup. Put him at the 2, put Chris Middleton at the 3. You can't have PJ Tucker, Giannis, and Brook Lopez all not being able to score threes out there, especially when Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton are not doing their part of being their main facilitators and main scoring options out on the floor from the perimeter. So we'll see what the Bucks do in game number 3, folks. It's coming back to Milwaukee. Jeez, I mean, the Bucks shot freaking 9 of 31 from the 3, folks. 29%. The Suns shot 50. They made 23s, folks. That is the game. And the Bucks aren't even nowhere close to keeping up with the three-point barrage, folks. So I don't know what you can do. The Suns team is just looking efficient. They're looking great. This is looking like one of the best teams in the NBA, folks. Just kind of the ball movement and the unselfishness of play and the playing for each other offensively and defensively. Nobody trying to outdo each other, just taking the most efficient shots. There was a play, I think in like the second half. I want to say it was in the fourth quarter. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it, but it was so freaking great, folks. I forgot how it ended, but if I go to play-by-play, I don't think I'm going to take it. But it took all 24 seconds. It was great movement by the Suns. I mean, there was like 4 or 5 times where I'm like, shoot the ball, you're wide open from 3, but they're making that extra pass, breaking down that Bucks defense, and then it goes down for just an easy dunk. An easy dunk because everybody's just passing the ball. The Bucks are overcommitting, and then you just break it down, and there's somebody wide open underneath the basket, and they get the dunk. Jeez, I'm a little upset. I'm not going to be able to find this play. Ugh, I should have wrote it down. I should have noted it. Because I don't even know when it came. It could have been in this third quarter. I think it was in the second half. Let me see very quickly if I can find this, because it was just so impressive. It was so great. This was like the pinnacle of the game. Like, this is what the Suns do, folks. Let's see, fourth quarter. It was a dunk. I think it was a DeAndre Ayton easy dunk. Was it this cutting layup? Did he dunk it? I thought he dunked it. Let's see. Is it this play? It took the entire shot clock, folks. Well, it must have been quarter 3 because they were going on the right side of the court. Was it in the second quarter? Bear with us, folks. It's worth it. I promise it's worth it. Was it McCall Bridges? No, maybe not DeAndre Ayton? Nah, this wasn't it. I need to find this play, folks. I need to find this. Ayton alley-oop layup. It may be this. I don't think it's this, actually. No, that was a great one too, though. But Chris Paul, just great vision, giving it to DeAndre Ayton. Oh man. Did it end in this? Did it end in a Chris Paul 3? No, that wasn't it either. Darn it! All right. I may have to come back tomorrow and show the play. I will find it. Maybe it was the second quarter. Let me just quickly browse the second quarter, folks. Let's see if it's this. No, that wasn't it. That was a turnover by Chris Paul. Yikes. That was not the play, though. I had a Paul's driving, floating bank jump shot, but they showed a turnover. Interesting. All right, maybe this. DeAndre Ayton dunking, cutting dunk. No, that wasn't it. But this is still a good play of just kind of the hustle here. So we get a turnover by McCall Bridges. He forces a turnover. Now we got a fast break one-on-one. Devin Booker gets blocked by Drew Holiday. Once again, very good play by him. But then we get McCall Bridges down the court, and then it's just DeAndre Ayton up by himself. Nobody kind of getting back on defense by the Bucks. So once again, just a hustle by the Suns. Great there. Great all-around team effort. You love to see it. All right, here we go. This is maybe the last. This is the last maybe right here. I think this is it right here. This is it right here. No, this isn't it. Darn it. That wasn't it. Maybe it's combined with this. What's before this? Ayton steal. Let's see. There's no video. All right, well, unfortunate. But I will try to find that play and have it for tomorrow because it was absolutely great. It was just the Suns breaking it down defensively, wide open at the end of it. Great ball movement, great team chemistry, making the best play possible. So that was the NBA Finals from last night, folks. Absolutely great game. Now, what do the Bucks have to do in game number 2? I mean, you made some adjustments, but the only adjustment left to make here for game 3 in Milwaukee is going to be Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. They need to be efficient, folks. I mean, 33%, 31%, that's not get it done at all, folks. Who shot 30% on the Suns team? McCall Bridges shooting 53%. Jay Crowder shooting 50%. DeAndre Ayton shooting 40%. Devin Booker shooting 48% on 25 shots. Chris Paul shooting 20% or 50% on 20 shots, folks. These people should be ashamed of themselves. You're ruining Giannis's great playoff performances, folks. He's been great. Game 1 was real good. Game 2 was great. 42 points, being aggressive the entire game. You have to kind of respect and try to be his you have to be Giannis's Robin. You must be reliable. This is what, LeBron has been kind of going with his early years, just trash all around him while he's going out there on a nightly basis and getting it done. So we need Drew Holiday to step it up. We need Chris Middleton to step it up. 5 of 16? 1 of 6 from the 3? While the Suns are shooting 50% as a team from the deep? Come on. Man. I don't know. I think you just got to switch the lineup. Move Chris Middleton back to the 3. Put Pat Connaughton in the starting lineup. He's not the best defender, but he can get some decent shots up. He's decently decent at the 3. Move Chris Middleton back to the 3. I say you take PJ Tucker out of the starting lineup. And then just move maybe PJ Tucker. Move him down to the 5 a little bit. When he comes off the bench, use him as the 5. You just got to jumpstart this offense offensively, folks. I mean, the Bucks did solid in the first quarter. They outscored the Suns 29-26. They floundered in the second quarter, only putting up 16 points. But they got off to a decent start in this game, and then it just went downhill as the game progressed. But the offense just needs to be better. The outside shooting just needs to be better. That's it. Chris Middleton, it's on you. Drew Holiday, it's on you. That's what you can boil the game down to. So, all right. We're not going to be able to get to the wild card game today. Unfortunate. I wanted to go to this. I saw it. I forgot to talk about it because I wanted to talk about the game. But I saw a hashtag of Fire McCarthy. What was that about? On Twitter. Does seem to have gone away. So I'm interested to see when that actually originated. Let's see if it shows more, if it's still up here. Fire McCarthy here. It's trending. Why is this trending? Oh, this is not Mike McCarthy. This is Kevin McCarthy. Politics, unfortunate. Why is that on my recommended? I only do sports on this account. What the heck? Interesting. I thought we were going to get a Fire Mike McCarthy, which I could always get behind. All right, folks. That's going to do it for us today. Let's see if there was anything breaking as we were live today. Anything breaking? Does not seem so. Does not seem to be anything breaking. So we're going to be back tomorrow, folks. We'll have a little extra time in the game and the show because we don't have to cover any basketball. So we will definitely be able to fit in the wild card game tomorrow. Patriots cornerback Stephon Gilmore on contract situation. I just want what I'm worth. Okay. That's a lot of what these corners are doing. These corners are trying to get paid out here this year. Not the biggest Stephon Gilmore fan. I think he's solid. Top 5. I don't know if he's top 3. He thinks he's top 1. A lot of people have him ranked as the best corner in the league. Hmm. 12th highest paid corner in the league. Interesting. That's a little disrespectful. I will say that. I'm not the biggest supporter of him, but definitely should be top 10 paid. Top 8, top 7. All right, folks. That's going to do it for us today. We are back tomorrow doing it all again. Noon Eastern. Live. Unfortunately, nothing to bet tonight. No playoffs to bet tomorrow. How unfortunate. How unfortunate. But we got to get it right, folks. I mean, shoot, folks. Our moneymaker has not been that. So we will do everything we need to do to get back on track for Sunday's game at 8 p.m. We will do everything we can for that. All right, folks, we are out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and we are back tomorrow.